Hello, and welcome to Bomb Squad, an In-Dreams production, where we diffuse the news. My name's Andrew Muggleton, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host Chris Sloan. How are you?
Yeah, great, thanks.
Excellent, very good, very good. I've noticed, since you've come into the house today, I've noticed that you've been wearing an Alice band.
Alice band?
Yeah, because your hair's fairly short, so I thought it was quite a bold kind of idea to wear an Alice band, because normally that's used to kind of hold back long hair, but
that's the sort of like the main use of an Alice band, is to hold back long hair, but I'm wearing it more as a sort of like a fashion statement.
Yeah, well, it must be, because normally they're like black or brown or something. Yours is white.
Yeah,
which is quite the contrast to your hair.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I want people to notice it. I don't want to just walk through the streets and people not see my Alice band. I mean, to be honest, it does spike my hair up.
Yeah,
as well.
Well, it's fetching, to say the least.
Yeah, and I sort of catch stuff in the hair while it's spiked up like that. So like flies, small birds.
Oh, so it's like a multi-purpose kind of thing.
And then you've got take a bird home.
And then your little lizard that lives with you as well, it can kind of eat the flies.
Yeah, well, it cleans it for me.
Yeah.
I catch it, and it's basically like the lizard enjoys that. I enjoy his company. It's a
What's
win-win.
his name?
Larry.
Nice.
Because he's a lizard.
Yeah. All makes sense. Fantastic. Excellent. Well, today I think I was going to propose something slightly different to you, if that's okay.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. Will you marry me?
I'm actually already married.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, let me propose something else then.
If you'd come to me 2 years ago,
yeah,
and asked that, then the answer might have been different.
I knew I should have done it. I knew there was a time that I missed out. Okay. Well, let's try something completely different then.
Okay.
Let's talk about E3.
E3.
Yeah, the Electronic Expo. I think that's what it stands for.
Isn't there entertainment in there?
Electronic Entertainment Expo?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Three E's? Cool.
3 E's.
Yeah. E3 is coming up very soon. In fact, I think by the time this goes out, it will be almost upon us, maybe a couple of days away.
Yeah.
So it runs from June 11th to 13th for the general public. But from the 9th or maybe even the 8th for one company, the conferences start, where generally speaking, E3 is where you get all of your big updates on games that were announced previously, games that are being announced right now, being revealed, or updates on existing games, and a general update on the gaming world, essentially. So what I was thinking of doing is I've got a list of all the different conferences that are going to be at E3 this year, and I thought we could kind of run through them, and I've written down a couple of rumoured titles, a couple of confirmed titles, and we could just kind of work our way through them, see what we think, if something's going to be interesting, if we expect any surprises or kind of things like that. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds great.
Good? Yeah, okay, cool. Well, let's jump straight into it. No messing about today. We're going to move in with... Okay, so before the main conferences, the official conferences started, 2 companies said they weren't going to be at E3 this year.
Yep.
The first one's Sony. So because of that, we're going to disband them and say we're not talking about you. Although there is a lot of news of Sony recently.
Yeah, they've released a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So we will come to that. Maybe in the next episode, we'll kind of retroactively look back. Or if we get any more information about those games, we'll talk about them in the future. So for example, Death Stranding, there's a rumour about The Last of Us 2 and things like that. The other company that said they weren't going to be there was EA. So what they've said is, we're not going to be at E3, but instead we're going to do our own thing called EA Play, which is basically their own conference with where you can go and play a load of games, but they'll do a bit of a conferencey type whole day session of basically giving an update on a couple of games that have already been announced or are expected, and that's happening on the 8th. Now, in terms of things that so they have a confirmed order. Now, there may be surprises. We may see something that we don't expect. But so far, what they've said is they're going to talk about Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order, Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, FIFA 20, Madden NFL 20, and The Sims 4. That's a weird list of games to be talking about, especially as things like Battlefield 5 came out a year ago.
Yeah.
And you're competing against an annualized series in Call of Duty. The Sims 4 came out like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, it's an old game.
There'll probably be some really weird update.
There'll be so many DLC packs that you can buy for different animals and going to college, etc. But let's talk about first Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So I know we spoke a bit about it previously. How's your kind of hype level feeling about this? How excited has it waned over the last couple of weeks, or are you really looking forward to this? Are you kind of like fine, or how are you feeling?
I wouldn't say my hype level is super different. I guess I've not really been thinking about it, so it probably has gone down. But all we've had so far is that story trailer, and so I'm hopeful that on the 8th we'll get some gameplay, see a little bit more in depth at what we might be doing during the game, how it looks, sort of just in actual game engine, and what the moment to moment gameplay might look like. But other than that, no, I'm just excited for it. It's one of those that I love Star Wars, and I've been, I think most people have been waiting for a new single player Star Wars game for a long time, and I think a lot of people have got high hopes for this one. So hopefully what they show us is good. They've already promised that there's going to be no multiplayer, no microtransactions, all that stuff. So hopefully it will be a positive showing of that. I doubt that people will get hands on with it though, will they? I think it's...
I know that EA have generally previously, when they've been at E3, they've often had they've shown a game and then they'll have tons of stations available for people to play. But they've done that normally, I think, with their Battlefield games. For Star Wars, look, it's coming out this year, isn't it?
Is that right?
I'm almost certain it's confirmed that it's coming out later this year. I will very quickly confirm that.
Well, I mean, even if it is, it's sort of like, I kind of just want to see stuff. I want to see what you can do, basically. I'd be glad to see people's reaction to it. I don't know how much they can even say. If they can actually give proper, whether they have to sign something when they start playing, things like that. But
just like some behind closed doors business.
I'm sure people will be able to get reactions out, but to be honest, it's got to be good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's Respawn doing it, the people who did Titanfall and kind of ex Call of Duty people. So it'll be interesting to see them do a because it's third person, so it'll be interesting to see how that translates across, if their expertise in first person can move across. It's coming out November 15th.
Oh, it's got an actual date.
Which is the week after Death Stranding, which was just announced. So that's going to be a heavy month, which is November's always a busy month for games.
Will that change?
Will that change?
Will
True.
they,
yes. No, they won't move Star Wars because of Death Stranding, surely.
You don't think so? I don't know. Maybe.
Don't know. It's bold.
Kojima's going to come eat your lunch.
It's a big game. I feel pretty similar to you. I've kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of close to a week or so away, or a couple of days away now, to seeing more. I'm kind of like, I'm just going to forget about it, and when we see that gameplay, that's what I'm really looking forward to actually see what this game is. So then we've got Apex Legends as well. So I imagine we'll get an update on the next season of the game. I know we both enjoyed it when we played it.
We dipped into it for a bit, but it's not. Yeah. And it was fun. It's just not really the sort of thing that I have time to play like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like people have been getting a little bit frustrated with the lack of updates in it. So be interested to see what they can do, because obviously Fortnite just comes out with its Avengers stuff, all the different seasons that it's got, and it seems to be update almost every month or something. So
I saw actually an interesting article recently, which was basically just saying Fortnite has turned into one big advertisement, in that basically if any big media thing is launching, you link it into Fortnite, because that's the best way for you to show off your thing, like Avengers, for example, or John Wick is in it.
Oh, of course.
So interesting to say the least. I'm sure at some point during E3 we'll get something about Fortnite, maybe Microsoft or someone like that. I don't know. Battlefield 5, old game. It's got its battle royale has come out now, so I'm sure they'll be updating something about that. FIFA 20, you must be so excited about FIFA 20 as the resident annual buyer of FIFA.
I'm trying to think of the last FIFA that I bought. I think it was probably. Do you know, I think I did buy 18 when it was about a year after it came out. Because it was really cheap. Not really into that.
No.
And they'll probably spend quite a lot of time on FIFA and Madden, won't they?
Yeah. FIFA, Madden, the two things that most people who are watching who are actually watching E3,
yeah,
I don't think have that much of an interest.
They'll sell better than all the other games combined there.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
No one actually wants to see them there.
No, exactly. And Sims 4 as well. No, we've got very little interest in that kind of as a whole. I don't know how it's still going, but that's The Sims for you.
Is that all the That's all the announcing?
That's all they've announced.
I mean,
so in terms of other EA stuff that could come, there could be another Battlefield.
Yeah, they could throw that in, tease something. That might come out.
World War 3.
I mean, I'm just like, do we get a little bit more anything about Dragon Age? It's way too early. 'Cause apparently they scrapped everything, didn't they, and started again.
Of course.
So
well, and actually,
is BioWare there at all? Anything about Anthem?
Well, so that was an interesting thing. Is I think I read, or it was because of this order, that there was not going to be any talk of Anthem at E3. Now, I don't know, but does that say the writing's on the wall for that game? Like, is it already on the wall? But so they've just detailed a bit of the big DLC expansion called Cataclysm, I think, the big event, which they were meant to be doing months ago, but they've delayed, and I think they've just talked about it a couple of days ago. But not having a presence at E3 seems
that's crazy,
mental. That was like,
well, I mean, they're not actually at E3 either, but you know,
no, but E3. yeah, exactly. BioWare, something from them. I feel like that Dragon Age Inquisition thing we got at the VGA, the Video Game Awards.
Not Inquisition, the new.
Sorry, not Inquisition. Sorry,
what's it? The Wolf something.
We don't have an official name, do we?
No, there was just a hashtag with it, wasn't there? It was
Wolf Rise. No.
Or is it Wolf Rise? Like that, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. That was such a little teaser.
Yeah, there was not really anything in it. There was just a bit of voiceover and a bit of art, wasn't there?
It must be years away.
I think so, because from the sounds of it, they were working on something. Then, around the time Anthem came out, this little trailer drops, and I think that everything was scrapped. Just before that trailer drop, everything was scrapped and began again.
Redone. So I see. It's
definitely going to be a sort of next gen-y.
Yeah. I can imagine several years for that.
Long way off, but
yeah. In terms of E3, EA, that's like, I can't really think of much else.
No.
That they could drop. I'm sure there may be something there, maybe some new studio or something. But
yeah, maybe potentially.
I think that's the main stuff. So then we move on and we start the official conferences, and that kicks off with Microsoft. Now, I believe they have actually extended their conference because of Sony moving out. They've actually made their conference even longer.
Yeah,
so it's something like an hour and a half or 2 hours long.
Well, I guess any multi-platform, game that's going to come out that's maybe not made by someone who's one of these other publishers.
Yes, and even some of them
show off.
Previously, they have debuted it at like Microsoft and then shown it at Bethesda again or something like that.
I guess you're going to see a lot more of the multi-platform stuff at Microsoft's conference, which is cool, which is exciting. It's just such it kind of, I don't know what, like it makes me think again about Sony's decision not to go. And you think it's weird because it's not like they've got nothing to show.
No, they've got so much to show.
And as I was seeing in the weeks before E3, that where they're releasing the Death Stranding trailer, there's big rumors about The Last of Us. There's the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
That it's not like they'd have a bad conference.
Yeah, and I'm sure they could rustle up a lot of these third-party things that may have now been in the Microsoft one that could have been in their one. Yeah, type of thing. But
I wonder if they're gonna just like hire a massive like bus
on the side of it
during Microsoft conference. They're just gonna like roll up outside and to try and like persuade people to come out and check out their games instead.
Absolutely.
What are Microsoft showing us? I can't.
Microsoft, right? Okay, so I'm gonna run through first party stuff first in terms of rumors well, nothing's confirmed, I don't think, but here's some rumors stuff. So one of them, this to me this really surprised me. Ninja Theory will be at the event. So Microsoft recently acquired them. Last game they put out was Hellblade. That was in the end of 2017.
Yeah.
So we're talking a year and a half ago. They're rumoured to come out and show off a new game, and the rumour is that it's some sort of multiplayer game.
It's a battle royale.
Well,
it's a Norse-themed battle royale game.
It's meant to be in the kind of vein of, do you know, like For Honor or Absolver?
Yeah,
those kind of like small multiplayer games, quite visceral and kind of hand to hand. That style game. which, man, I was heartbroken at the idea of not being able to play a Ninja Theory game on a PlayStation again moving forward after Hellblade. But if it's a multiplayer game, I'm kind of like, all right, cool, fine, whatever.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But it depends what it is. I'm sure it'll be cool.
Absolutely.
Not been working on it long, to be fair.
No, so I assume.
Yeah,
we assume. We've got Rare might potentially come out and show something. Whatever they've been working on. Maybe something related to the Battletoads game as well, because that was they did announce that was actually happening, but they haven't shown any trailers or anything. There's also rumors of Fable 4, which
that'd be nuts. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'll be very
unbelievable.
Cool. They cancelled the Fables Legends game, and they closed the studio. I think Lionhead Studio, was the UK based studio that made all the Fable games. They closed them down. So again, there's strong rumours that Fable 4 might be making an appearance, would be very cool, especially for Microsoft to have that kind of RPG.
Oh yeah. It's something that they've been missing for years.
Yeah,
years and years.
Absolutely. I think an absolute slam dunk guarantee is Halo Infinite getting its first proper gameplay story trailer. We've had that little teaser trailer, which was basically a tech demo showing the world. But this is going to be the reintroduction of Halo in a big fashion, and I don't doubt it will be spectacular.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
In some way.
The music will be great as well.
Yeah,
music's always great.
Of course. I'm sure there'll be some sort of talk of Forza Horizon. So you had Forza Horizon 4. I think there's a few rumours of maybe an expansion to that, or maybe just a new Forza game. It's an annual series. They kind of go through various different types of Forza each year. So I'm sure there'll be something on that. In terms of other companies, so we said they picked up Ninja Theory recently. They also picked up In Exile, who are those kind of CRPG games, so kind of the top-down isometric RPG walking around. Wasteland 3 is the next one they're meant to be working on. And then also, we might get an update on Obsidian, who also one of the founding fathers of those kind of games, and their game, The Outer Worlds, which was the trailer was like basically making fun of Fallout the whole time. Yeah. So it's like Fallout, but because they started Fallout, Obsidian. So I'm sure we'll get an update on that now that Microsoft actually own that company.
Yeah.
Which would be exciting. Other big things, Gears of War 5. I think we've already had a story trailer for that. I'm sure we're going to probably get some gameplay and maybe like a release date-esque type thing. Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh yeah, of course.
That again, we've had a trailer
already. We've seen a lot of that, haven't we?
We've seen a lot.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a firm release date / this is the big last push of it. And this is as you can see, this is like stacking up to be like a hell of an event. Like there's so many different things. So then we move on to like third-party stuff. Cyberpunk 2033, 100% will be there because it closed last year's E3 for them.
Yeah.
It'll be back there. It'll be some new in-depth gameplay. We've already had a huge gameplay chunk. From obviously last year we had the trailer, and I think behind closed doors we had that like 10-minute, 15-minute gameplay thing, which then they released a little bit later.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll just get even more story setting up because you've had like the world set up.
We had a world trailer and then
we haven't actually got what we're doing in the story.
Do you think they might hint at a possible time frame?
That wouldn't surprise me. I could see like maybe like a late 2020.
Or just like at the end it just says next year.
Next year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because that game, I imagine it's gonna
be amazing.
It's we've both been playing. Obviously, we're both continuing to play The Witcher 3, and just the idea of that team, how competent that game already was in 2015, and through the expansions get even better, and just everything they've learned from that, and then applying it into a whole like new.
It's just the care over the story. That's what I'm looking
Unbelievable.
forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So excited from that. I think one of the big rumours is that From Software will announce a new game after just releasing the Sekiro this year. They will announce a new game, and this game is rumoured to be its code title is GR, which I think is Great Rune, which is meant to have consultation from George R.R. Martin. From Software, George R.R. Martin making a game together at Microsoft's E3 conference. That will be like,
that'd be nuts.
spectacular.
George Railroad Martin.
Indeed.
If he would just like strolls out.
Yeah. Well, that's like the biggest guy in fantasy right now, is it?
Yeah.
Let's say.
Oh, easily.
With the biggest people in RPGs, basically.
Yeah.
If they can even make that, if they can go, right, we make certain games in a certain way. Can you imagine if they went, no, let's make a slightly more accessible RPG type of game in a big open world, which is what it's rumored to be, with kind of horseback riding stuff. That could be spectacular.
I'm sure it would be. I'd like him more on a sort of, because the best thing about his writing is the intrigue, the political sort of like the backstabbing.
Yeah.
That's what I want from.
Well, maybe that's what he's done. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Maybe I can't.
3 years. 3 years supposedly. It's been in making.
Or he could just go and like finish his books.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
That would be all right.
That'd be quite good.
I
hope if he comes on stage and she gets booed.
Yeah.
Like, go finish your books, George.
Absolutely.
He won't.
Fingers crossed.
Never.
There's a big thing I want to talk about in a second to do with Microsoft, but first of all, I kind of did a little star, because we've also got to talk about Warner Brothers. Now, this might be an apt time to talk about third-party stuff, Microsoft, Warner Brothers. Do Warner Brothers show off new superhero games at the Microsoft stage? Because that is the biggest of stages at E3 right now.
Yeah. Well, we know that Square Enix are going to talk to us a little bit about some superheroes.
Exactly. So,
does another company get in first?
Well,
and release a superhero game?
Exactly. And that studio is Warner Brothers Studio, or whatever what they called, WB Studios.
WB, yeah.
Do you know the game they're making?
No, I don't.
I've got some hot rumours here.
Go on.
Right, WB Studios, the next Batman game.
Damn.
Batman.
Is this confirmed?
It's a strong rumour, okay? Okay.
Go on.
Batman, Arkham Crisis, open world,
okay,
and based around, I'm hoping you can help me out on this.
Final Crisis?
No, based around the Court of the Owls Crisis.
Oh, damn.
What's that? Talk to me about that. What does that mean?
So, in 2011,
yeah,
DC like rebooted everything, and they called it the New 52. Yeah. So everything went from being at issue like 700 and something like that to being like issue 1.
Right. Cool.
And Batman.
Yeah.
He obviously got a new. He got a new 52 run.
Yeah.
And the first kind of major storyline that he had was called the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
I'm just quickly Googling something.
Yeah, because one of the writers is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, the writer of it is. It's like I'm just literally Googling it now. I'm sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder.
So Scott Snyder is the guy he basically wrote this. He wrote a lot of the first run of Batman. There.
Okay.
But the Court of Owls is an awesome storyline.
Okay, cool.
It's sort of. It's basically the idea behind it is that, Batman's quite arrogant. He thinks, the Gotham's his. Like, there's always these supervillains and stuff. But the idea is that there's a kind of like underground like criminal network that ran without his knowledge and had been kind of like allowing him to deal with these like petty crooks like the Riddler, the Penguin, all these people. And then he suddenly starts to get wind of them, and then it's sort of, I think one of the big twists is that his parents were like linked in with them or something. So it's really cool, really awesome story. It's one of it's probably like the best modern Batman story. Well, it's about 8 years old now, but really cool. That's great.
So that's the strong
really cool
rumor. So Batman Arkham Crisis, obviously again big open world for you to explore. And that's
weird to use the word crisis in there when crisis is a very specific thing in DC comics. But
okay. Well, so that's one rumor
from WB Games. So the people that did Arkham Origins.
Exactly. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Following on from that, hopefully the PC port is a bit better.
Hopefully the console version is good as well. Because that's not a well-running game.
So then,
good story though. That's what's. And actually, if they've managed to get like Scott Snyder involved and they're using his story, then cool, great, go for it.
So WB flashed on the screen WB Games flashed on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You see this and now say, woo, crazy.
This
crazy.
is what we said a couple of weeks
exactly.
ago.
Exactly. It's going to happen.
Lights go
down. Why no? Okay, let's predict this. Okay, I'm going to predict this because we're going to talk about Rocksteady next. Okay.
Yeah.
Makers of the Arkham trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I've just got it.
Can you imagine?
In my head.
Last year, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you saw it at Microsoft's conference. They were talking. They did their whole conference, an hour and a half or however long it was, and at the end, I think it was there was someone talking on stage, and then all of a sudden the screen like went out and it went all glitchy, and there was like a hack that basically happened, and all of these like green letters and crazy things. No, okay. What it was Cyberpunk, and it kept in like all these like little references to like CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk and things like that came on the screen, and like it did like a loading screen, and then it went into that cool trailer with the really cool music. Can you imagine this as in like the ending of the Microsoft event conference being Rocksteady then coming out?
Well, so this is it. WB Games announced whatever that is.
Everyone's like, whoa, that's so exciting.
Whoa, that's so cool. I like this. Batman, he's cool. Then what happens is the lights go out, and 5 people walk on stage. Yeah. Then the lights come up.
Yeah.
And those 5 people are Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah. And Ben Affleck.
And Robert Pattinson walks on stage. And everyone's like, oh my goodness.
It's the new Batman.
It's that new Batman, dude. And then Rocksteady are like, hey, yo, remember that Justice League film that everyone loved and was critically acclaimed?
Yeah.
We're making a game. Yeah. And it's based on the film.
Based on the film. Beat by beat. We're going to make the exact same game.
And they'll make Superman's mouth look even worse.
Yes, exactly. Can he at least have a moustache in the game? Or do
Superman? Superman can't have facial hair, man. No,
can you not be given the option in game? You can go to a barber's, you can have a moustache, and it's a little callback to Henry Cavill having his moustache taken out. That'd be a cool Easter egg.
Yeah, I hope they do it. I end up talking about Rocksteady all the time, but I hope it's there. Yeah, it'd be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be kind of weird to announce that and the WB Games one, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a good double though.
It would be mental.
Obviously, it takes a huge amount of thunder away from WB Games, but this is all Warner Brothers anyway, so...
Yeah, and hopefully it just takes thunder away from Square Enix and Marvel as well, if possible.
I thought you loved Marvel.
I do love Marvel. I can't not love them.
So I think it's worth talking about them at the same time as Microsoft, actually, based on the idea that Microsoft is the only... So everyone else we're talking about is a direct publisher, so Bethesda, Devolver, Ubisoft... Square Enix, Nintendo, other than maybe PC gaming show, you might get some stuff coming up. But Microsoft might have the biggest third-party kind of show. With WB, we've also got 2 other things, which are... One is actually announced, which is the Lord of the Rings Gollum is a game.
Yeah, okay.
So we might find out more about that. Cool. I don't really have much more to say there.
Shooter.
Yeah. When Gollum actually gets the ring and he starts shooting stuff from the ring.
Yeah, I hope so.
The other thing, which there was a lot of talk about this a while ago, and everything's quietened down a bit.
Is this the Harry Potter game?
Yes, the Harry Potter RPG. There was leaked footage of it. Like, do you think this is the time? Maybe we find out what that game is?
Maybe.
I think it'd be
I don't know, man. It's quite a stacked show already, but if it's far off, then probably not. But
if they've got 2 hours, I think they've got enough time.
Just not kind of on topic. I went to the cinema to see Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah,
a couple of weeks ago, and one of the trailers. It wasn't like a film trailer, obviously, but one of the trailers at the beginning was from Niantic.
Oh yeah,
obviously you made Pokemon
for
Go.
the Wizard.
Yeah, for the I think it's called like Wizards Unite.
Yes, yeah.
Which is obviously it's like Pokemon Go, but with Harry Potter. So obviously you're playing with your phone. You're a wizard or a witch, and you go around and do stuff. But basically, this trailer was unbelievable. The money that these companies can put into making like mobile game trailers is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, mental, really
crazy.
Mental. Yeah, totally.
Agree. But yeah, this Harry Potter game, if it's there, great. I think if it's there, I mean, this could be if all this stuff happens that we're talking about now, this would be one of the best E3s ever.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think, let's say Rocksteady aren't there or something, and I think the Harry Potter thing could be massive.
Yeah,
if they show it off and it looks cool,
Yeah.
I think it could actually be one of the biggest things announced at E3, because I think so many people would be into that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got such a huge fan base to it.
Yeah. It's got such, and it'd be just bring in so many a new audience that maybe aren't super into gaming like this.
Yeah, for sure. That's most of the stuff I had written down for Microsoft, other than a new console.
Yeah, that actually almost...
Project Scarlet, I think it's called.
That's interesting how much time might they give to that.
Yeah, so if we've got 2 hours... For Scorpio, a couple of years... 2 years ago, maybe? So the One X.
Yeah.
They gave a good kind of like 30 minutes or so to it, 20, 30 minutes. Considering this is the next generation, and we're almost certain it's going to be shown off, I would imagine at least half an hour is going to be shown to that. I imagine, but part of that 30 minutes could be also showing off a game.
Look at Halo.
Yeah. Here's the new Halo trailer, inbuilt into the whole talking of.
Here's an interview with Ninja Theory, who have been working with.
Exactly. Working with the new console. Yeah, what's it going to be called?
I don't know.
I think it'll be something. Xbox One, 1S, 1X. Do we go? We can't go 2.
I think they'll steer clear of a number here. I think
think
it'll be Xbox something.
Xbox something.
Yeah.
Xbox?
The Xbox.
The Xbox.
Yeah,
I've always wanted... That's such a way to go and just put a date next to it. That's what Apple need to do with an iPhone. iPhone 2019. iPhone 2020.
Yeah, maybe.
Steer clear of these numbers.
Yeah, I could see it being called the Xbox. Just the Xbox.
The Xbox.
The Xbox.
Yeah. So they're going to talk about that. We're going to get a new Xbox, a big deep dive into it. Next up then, did you have anything else you wanted to say for Microsoft?
I don't think so. Just I hope that they have a really good conference, really, because obviously I quite like I like everything being together at E3.
Mm-hmm.
And when Sony announced they went there, obviously I'm much more of a Sony fanboy than Microsoft. But I hope that, I don't know, maybe Sony gets their mind changed for next year. But I don't know.
Their mind changed, or they see what, by them not being there, they've given a platform to Microsoft, and Microsoft knock it out of the park, and then Sony have to knock it out of the park in the future.
Yeah.
A bit more. So we will swiftly move on then to Bethesda. A couple of hours later, we have Bethesda. They have historically, talked about quite a few new games. They have only been at E3 a couple of years now, having their own conference, but they've got big enough where they actually can, because they do a lot of... Bethesda's internal studio do a couple of games. You've got things like Elder Scrolls Fallout, and then, but they also own people like id and Machine Games, Arcane. Well, they don't own them, but they publish them. So you've got Doom Eternal, I think, is going to be front and center.
Yeah. Might start with that.
That is going to be... I'm so excited for that.
It'll be great. It's going to be so good. They don't need to show anything else of that, really.
It's going to be so good. Yeah. You had... So Rage 2 recently came out, which was Avalanche, who did Just Cause and Mad Max previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I was under the impression that Rage 2 was actually an id game, because Rage, the first game, was done by id, who are the makers of people like Doom, Wolfenstein originally, I think Quake as well, all of those kind of classic first-person shooters. So they did Rage as a bit of a sidestep. Rage 2 was actually an Avalanche game with the assistance of id. So id are actually working on Doom Eternal. So this is the thing they're actually working on. They are... Doom Eternal, I think, is... So they have a thing called id Tech, which is their engine. I think id Tech 6 is the new one, and Doom Eternal is going to be one of the first games using it. So I imagine the effects in this game are going to be off the charts. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
There's rumours, and they kind of hinted at that. Obviously, you go to hell a lot in these games, and Mars a lot.
Yeah.
There's rumours you might go to heaven
really?
in this game, and just the idea of the complete aesthetic change kind of for that.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's still going to be pretty grimy feeling, but can't wait to see what that...
I think isn't like the tagline this, that hell's come to Earth?
Yes.
So like Earth's kind of been changed into...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
So excited. You've got a new... At the end of your gun, you've got like a hook that you can shoot at people and then drag you towards them.
Excellent.
Couple of cool little features they're just going to make the game even better.
Oh man, I'm just thinking about dragging someone in and a shotgun right in the
blowing their face, blowing some demon off. It's all fine though. It's gratuitous violence. It's fine because it's against demons, so you don't kill any people.
Yeah.
Another game I expect they will deep dive into due to the fact it's out this year is Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah.
Which picks up with the daughters. So it picks up after the DLC of... Right, you had the Wolfenstein, the New Order?
Yeah.
Was the first. It was the reboot, was it?
Yeah.
Wolfenstein...
First Blood?
First Blood was the expansion, the DLC.
Yeah.
Then Wolfenstein, the New Colossus.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm getting my names mixed up, I think, a little bit. But this picks up directly after whatever the last Wolfenstein game is that we had and its DLC. This is the Youngblood. This is, you play as the daughters of BJ Blazkowicz, our protagonist. So again, I'm hoping for some mixing up of the kind of formula. Again, don't mix it up too much because the formula is so good with those games.
Yeah, they can, I don't know, they can do whatever they want really with that.
Yeah, Machine Games have got a good track record.
Another big one in a couple of years.
Yeah. I imagine this will be like a bit of a standalone game, maybe like a £35-esque thing, like a standalone side game, £40. Very excited for that. Again, the gameplay is so good with it.
Oh, it's amazing. I love those games.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls Online is a consistent thing. They are still pushing it, and it seems to be doing okay in terms of the MMORPG kind of world. I'm sure we'll get some sort of update or an expansion with that. I don't know that much about it, so they might have already said that they are doing an expansion, but I'm sure we'll expect something.
That's a game I wish I'd played at some point.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, for me also, the other one is Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, yeah.
Is the other kind of big online RPG that I wish I'd got into at some point.
Yeah, if I didn't have a life, then
yes,
100% I'd have played those.
Wait, do you have a life?
Apparently.
That's jealous.
I miss the days when I could just play World of Warcraft for hours.
I'm sure we will get something. So Rage 2, obviously, yeah, as I say, just recently came out. I think we'll get some sort of DLC related thing to that, some sort of update. Then we get into the kind of rumours aspect. Those are pretty much confirmed things due to the fact they're current or expected games. Rumours, I've just got 3 things written down here. There will probably be a lot more with Bethesda due to their publishing side of things. Elder Scrolls 6, I'm pretty sure Todd Howard has come out and said that it will not be at E3.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
So we've had a little teaser for it. I think it's fair to assume that we won't see anything.
Yeah, I don't.
If they wanted to pull a rabbit out of a hat, they could show something more than just a fly over a mountain.
Yeah,
and they could actually show.
They could just get. Do you know what? They could just give like a name, and people.
Yeah, an official name. Yeah, that would be true. Because Fallout 4 came out a while ago. Like,
yeah,
I know there was DLC with that and stuff, but
76 as well.
Of course, you got 76, but that can't have been a big team working on that.
I hope not.
Someone else. But then again, the issue is Bethesda Studios. So you've also got Starfield.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which is another game of theirs, internal. So they're working on
Elder
Scrolls 6 and Starfield.
Did they not say at the last? I can't remember what it was the last time.
E3.
It was E3.
Yeah.
Where I think they mentioned the Starfield is coming before the Elder Scrolls.
Did they? Right.
Something like that.
So maybe that's a game that we do get.
Maybe that'd be cool.
Some proper look at, because again, we've had the vaguest of
we
teasers.
got pretty much the same amount of information for that we got for Elder Scrolls 6, just like a splash title.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got the title for that one, I guess.
Yeah. So hopefully that would be great to see. That would be a real kicker for their conference. Like this is all known quantities and expected stuff. Showing something about Starfield would be great.
Yeah.
The other thing then is Arcane Studio. And now they're the guys that did things like Dishonored, Prey. So Prey was the last thing they did. I think we could probably see something from them. Even if it's a year or two away.
Yeah.
An initial trailer would be cool. Because they're an established studio who've got a good track record of delivering on games. So hopefully we see something from them. That would be cool. Other than that,
yeah, I don't really know what else to expect from them.
I think that's the problem. Is they've shown their cards recently. They've kind of laid it. Last year they kind of said, right, this is everything we've got working on. So I don't expect too many surprises. Just a few deep dives, which is great. It'll be good. Next up, then, an hour and a half later, we have Devolver Digital, who I think this is the second time they're doing one. Last time they did was 2017, and I might be wrong in that, but don't quote me. it was mental. Like, so they are like an indie developer. They're in like an indie publishing team.
Okay.
They did things like Hotline Miami. They are the publishers of that. Loads and loads of indie games. And their last conference was like, it was like on a little stage. Someone's head got cut off. There was like a table with magic and all sorts. There was like some crazy commentator. It's just absolutely bonkers. So I would say if you don't care for games, you just want to see something stupid, watch Devolver's thing, because you might see some cool games, but you'll probably get some entertainment out of it as well. I don't really have much to write there because most people don't really have any rumors because who knows. Next up again, then, I don't have a huge lot to say, is the PC Gaming Show, which is actually the next day. So we're moving on to the 10th of June. Again, expect a load of things relating to PC gaming. Chris and I, we don't really have that much knowledge on it.
No, not at all.
I couldn't see that many rumours about games, but I'm sure there will be a lot of PC games. MOBAs and Age of Empires.
Yeah.
That will probably actually be at Microsoft's because they own it.
Hey.
No, maybe they'll leave it for PC. Who knows? So, moving swiftly on to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
So, Ubisoft, a little bit later in the day. There's a lot to talk about here. Do we want to take our halftime first?
We can do, if you want.
Because you talked about Warner Brothers, actually. Okay. Ubisoft, we've got quite a lot to talk about with Ubisoft, as we both have a lot of history with Ubisoft games. So let's take a little pause there.
Okay.
I want to pause my mouth for a second. And we're going to do our classic halftime game. Now, this time, I think last time you quizzed me, didn't you? Did you? Or did I quiz you?
No,
I think I quizzed you.
You quizzed me, yeah.
Well, let's keep in that vein then.
Okay.
And today, we're going to play a game which I've called I Got an Award. Okay.
Wait, say that again.
I got an award.
I got an award.
Yeah, you nailed it. I got an award. The GOTS is the important bit because that stands for Game of the Show.
Oh.
So what we're going to look at is we're going to go to our good friend IGM, and we're going to look at their Game of the Show of E3 for the last 5 years. So we're talking 2014, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay. So I have a screenshot here of each of the years. We're going to go from 2014 to 2018. And what I'm actually going to give you all of the nominees, okay?
Okay.
There are a lot each time. So I don't know if you want to write it down or just try and remember
I'm ready.
it. If you want me to repeat it, just let me know. Right.
I've got this. 2014.
2014. Okay. In no particular order. Batman Arkham Knight. MGS5 The Phantom Pain. Evolve. Destiny. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Battlefield Hardline. Dragon Age Inquisition. Rainbow Six Siege. Mortal Kombat X. Bloodborne. Super Smash Bros. Alien Isolation. Assassin's Creed Unity. And No Man's Sky. It's a hell of a list of games. Yeah.
What Smash Bros was there?
I think this was the one on Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh,
so lots of... How do we want to do this? Do you want me to like tell me your answer now, or do you want to go through all of them and then I go through and say...
I want you to tell me the year, the winner of that now, right. And then we'll move to 2015 because I don't want you to remember it, like having to remember all this. There's like 13 each time. Do you want me to run them through quickly?
No. I wrote down the ones that I think were
the important ones.
So I might have got it wrong straight away. Okay. So I'm going to cross you off. I don't think Rainbow Six Siege. I don't think it would have been Smash Bros. Assassin's Creed Unity was the really bad one, wasn't it?
That was the French one.
Yeah, the one that
very buggy.
So I don't think it'd be that.
Remember, it's all about how it shows at the show.
I know. Do you know what? Because in my head, I'm like, right, Dragon Age Inquisition, I don't think it was that. I don't think it would have been Arkham Knight. What I've got left written down here is No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah.
MGS5.
Yeah.
And Evolve.
Okay.
That's
interesting.
I've got this really weird feeling that like Evolve did really well because everyone was like super hyped for Evolve
because it's the Left 4 Dead guys.
Yeah, and then it came out and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh,
yeah,
it's kind of disappointing." I'm really tempted to say like Destiny, though.
Okay. Is that your answer?
Mm.
Has Destiny got an award?
Has Destiny got an award? No, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say Evolve.
Wow. Okay.
Evolve.
You did not get that right.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. So, not every year, but this year, they gave runners-up. The runners-up were No Man's Sky,
Okay.
Arkham Knight, and Super Smash Bros.
Oh, damn.
The winner, who got an award, was Rainbow Six Siege.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2014, that was the winner.
Rubbish. Come on then, 2015.
Okay, 2015. Here you go. In alphabetical order this time. Thanks, IGN. Abzu, Adrift, Below, Cuphead, Dark Souls 3, Fallout 4, For Honor, Fortnite, Horizon Zero Dawn, Kingdom Hearts 3, MGS5 The Phantom Pain, No Man's Sky, Star Wars Battlefront, Super Mario Maker, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, and Uncharted 4 A Thief's End.
Whew.
Yeah. That's a serious list again.
A lot of games there. I'm just going to cross a load off that I don't either like or know about.
Mm-hmm. This is 2015.
Crossing you off. Right. I've narrowed it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to narrow it down to 5.
Okay.
You can go. And you can go. Right, I've narrowed it down to
Okay.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
MGS5.
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Cuphead.
Okay.
I feel like it's definitely one of them.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Cuphead.
No. Sorry. So.
Is there runners up this time, or is it just a winner?
Only one.
Okay, go on.
One runner-up. Fallout 4.
Oh, man.
This is the year when I believe IGN lost all credibility on the internet.
Okay, go
Maybe they've gained it back. Who knows what your opinion is of IGN? IGN's Game of the Year 25th Game of the Show.
It's Game of the Show.
For E3. I got an award. Goes to Star Wars Battlefront.
Nah, bruv.
No. Can you believe that?
No.
Exactly. Well, it happened, so you better believe it. Right.
Well, it turned out really well, though.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible decision. Right. I got an award E3 2016.
Okay.
The nominations are in alphabetical order. Batman Arkham VR.
Damn.
Battlefield 1. Days Gone. Dishonored 2. Final Fantasy 15. For Honor. Gears of War 4. God of War. Horizon Zero Dawn. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Mafia 3. Titanfall 2. And Watch Dogs 2.
Okay. Right, I'm going to cross-load off.
Who got an award in 2016? Again, serious games being shown off. As if there ever would be serious games, but still. I feel like the lists are getting smaller each year.
So I've narrowed it down to...
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
Okay, talk me through them.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
God of War.
Okay.
Gears of War 4.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 15 and Dishonored 2.
Now think about how hipster IGN have been so far. So far we've had Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, you're right.
We're in a year with MGS5, Bloodborne, Arkham Knight, Assassin's Creed. We've had Star Wars Battlefront. In a year with Uncharted 4, MGS5, No Man's Sky, Horizon, Dark Souls. What do we got for 2016?
I don't know. It probably should be Breath of the Wild, but it's probably not if they're being very hipster. So I'll go with... I'm going to go left field and say that Game of the Show was For Honor.
I threw you under the bus there. It was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
You're a douche. Okay.
No runners up there.
No runners up.
No. IGN aren't hipster. Come on, Chris. Get over there. Get over yourself.
Breath of the Wild just like broke through everyone's hipsterness.
Yeah, exactly.
It was that good.
Right.
Go on then, 2017.
2017, 2 years ago. The nominations are A Way Out, Anthem, Assassin's Creed Origins, Far Cry 5, God of War, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, Sea of Thieves, Marvel's Spider-Man, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Is that it?
That's it. We're getting shorter each year, it seems.
Okay, I'm gonna bump a few off here.
Okay. Who got an award in 2017? Some very careful calculations going over there.
I just want to get one right.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get one right. You'll be fine.
Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna say it's not Anthem.
Okay.
Right, so I've noted down God of War, Spider-Man, and Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Oh,
what are you feeling?
3 great games.
Yeah, outstanding games, some would say.
But I feel like God of War kind of like got really going once it released.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cut that off.
Okay. Bold.
Odyssey. Odyssey, man. That was a good game. But
I've heard.
Nintendo got the coveted IGN Game of the Show the year previously with Breath of the Wild.
They did.
Are they
on a hot streak?
I'm gonna say Marvel Spider-Man won Game of the Show.
And Chris, you know what? I'm going to tell you.
Go on, tell me I'm right.
That Super Mario Odyssey got an award that year. Come on, mate. Nintendo. The 2 highest rated games of the last 10 years or whatever.
Whew. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that one hurt. That one hurt.
Yeah. Right, you've got one chance to redeem yourself. It's only a year ago. You must remember this. I
do browse IGN.
Exactly.
Yearly.
You're always looking out for their top 10 lists.
Come on.
Right, the nominations are Anthem, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Death Stranding, Fallout 76, Ghost of Tsushima, Kingdom Hearts 3, Knights and Bikes, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Spider-Man, should be Marvel Spider-Man, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Last of Us Part 2, and Cyberpunk 2077.
All right.
I don't know why they've broken that out it was alphabetical and then they put Cyberpunk at the bottom.
I'm going to cross a load off just because.
Do some crossing.
That's gone. You're gone. You're definitely gone. Oh, this is hard. Right.
This is tricky.
The games I've got left.
Yeah, what have you got left? Okay, talk to me. Talk to me about your...
Cyberpunk's there still.
Yeah, okay.
Last of Us 2 is there still.
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Is it a hat trick?
Is it a hat trick? Wow.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I'm going to cross that off. I'm crossing that off because I think people were kind of a bit down on Smash Bros. When it was announced.
Sure.
Sekiro from Software.
Who knows?
Resident Evil 2 remake, man. That people were like hyped.
People were pretty jazzed about that.
I'm going to cross it off though.
Interesting.
Cross that off, man. And Death Stranding.
Ooh. Now, think back to last year. Do you remember the E3 presentations?
See, I think the Death Stranding, we'd had a few things leading into Death Stranding. So I think maybe people were not, I don't think they'd give it Game of the Show because I think if it was a brand new trailer, I think they may do it. So I'm crossing that
the trailer was the quiet one as well, where he's just walking about a lot.
So I've got
trailer
left
for The Last of Us,
Sekiro, The Last of Us, and Cyberpunk.
Okay, so Sekiro's trailer was just, again, a bit of gameplay showing off, I'm pretty sure. Last of Us was the one with Ellie dancing around under the kind of like tent, and then her gameplay being shown, and then the beautiful kiss.
Yeah, that gameplay, man, because everyone was like, "That's nuts!" If that's actually how it works.
And then Cyberpunk was the Microsoft hacking business, and then behind doors. Because remember, this isn't just the trailer. This is everything they've been shown, that IGN have been shown.
Oh, I'm going to go with Last of Us 2.
I'm sorry, Chris, but you never got an award this year. It was this round. It was Cyberpunk 2077. That was hard. That was a hard quiz, I've got to admit.
Yeah, I think no, I should have got.
There were a couple.
The
Zelda one I would half give you because you did actually say you would go for that, but it was only because I told you they were being hipster.
You did.
I gave you a red. Off. Yeah, I gave you a red herring.
Well, do you know what?
Some interesting picks.
I enjoyed that day, and I'm already looking forward to this time next year.
When we get to
play I Got an Award again.
Yeah, hopefully you remember all these obtuse picks.
I suppose we can't really do it like that, can we? I guess we can do it for the year just gone.
Yeah, we'll do it for the year just gone, and then I'll go back to 2013, 2012, 2011. Back to the first year it existed.
Excellent. I'm very annoyed. No points for Hufflepuff.
Nil point for Hufflepuff.
Hi guys, welcome to How Long Is It Until We Can Play Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, really exciting news. The Pokemon Company, they've announced a couple of things about the game. So we now know, for example, who the two legendaries are from Sword and Shield. And we also now have an actual release date. So I don't have to guess anymore how long it is until we can play these games. And that release date is the 15th of November.
Babe? Have you swapped our white cotton sheets for a children's Pikachu duvet set?
Not now, babe. Not now.
Bloody ridiculous.
Well, it's 162 days. That's how long it is. Thanks for listening to How Long Is It Until We Can Play Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Right.
Let's carry on.
Okay, let's carry on with our conference discussion. So we're going to move swiftly on to Ubisoft. The French studio.
Parler en français.
Oui, monsieur. Now, we're going to get some updates on existing games. I think we've already had this confirmed. We're going to get an update on Rainbow Six Siege.
Great.
Previous winner of IGN's Game of the Year.
Apparently so.
Game of the
2014.
Show. Yeah. We're going to get updates on For Honor. We are going to get updates on The Division 2. And that's it, confirmed. Now, there was a recent leak. They have some sort of roller derby kind of game that's going to be coming out.
Gosh.
Like some rollerblading business.
100% people are going to do that live on the stage.
Exactly. I'm anticipating something like I think there might even be some leaked pictures on the interwebs. I think you imagine like a Rocket League, but rollerblading is what we're going to get.
That sounds cool.
People are pretty excited, actually. I think the general feeling is. Other things, a leak. The Ubisoft Pass leaked.
Okay.
There was references to this. So are they going to have some sort of gaming subscription service? Probably.
Yeah.
They have their own store, Uplay, on computer.
Yeah, man, we can use our U points.
Yeah, absolutely. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that was recently revealed in a trailer. They kind of did that a couple of weeks ago. So we'll probably get a deep dive into gameplay with that, a proper look at that. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, bit of an update, I imagine, on that. Is it time to talk about a new Assassin's Creed game?
Well, everyone knows already, so what does it hurt to throw us a little sizzle reel of that?
Yeah, so the leaks, the rumours are Assassin's Creed Vikings. What's the name? Who knows? But cool. Norse mythology. We're going Norse. Norse is so hot right now.
I think they'll make it because I've not played Origins, but everyone says it's great. Yeah. And when they lean into the mythology side of ancient Greece, apparently that's when the game is at its best. So I think leaning into the Norse mythology of
it's like the biggest mythology right now. It's totally. So I think that'd be great if they show it off.
So hot right now.
Yeah, this is the year off, and I think previously they've been announcing them and releasing them the same year. So
they've been leaking them and then they
true. So
I reckon that's a strong chance we'll get the actual title maybe because it can't be called surely.
No, it's not going to be. No, I've just put that down as AC Vikings.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes. Assassin's Creed
your money on that
Ragnarok.
Now? No, it can't be Ragnarok. That's too much.
Is that too Marvel?
God of War 2 is going to be called God of War Ragnarok.
True.
And we had Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And Hellblade was about Ragnarok.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think just Valhalla. That's a good name, isn't it?
It's a cool word.
It's also a roller coaster in Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Damn, that knowledge.
Yep. Well, it's not. It's like a water ride.
Oh, fair enough. Other games.
Sticking
back to the games?
Are
you ready to transition into becoming a theme park podcast? I felt some passion in your voice there.
I don't know. I mean, Road. I've been on many a roller coaster in my day. Not for a long time though.
Okay, maybe it's not the best time
quite.
for us to
maybe
that'll be a side. Yeah.
I was just going to ask about Ubisoft.
Yes.
Will we get Watch Dogs 3?
Now I have that written down for a big question mark next to it.
Because Watch Dogs 1, very disappointing.
Yeah, I'd go as far as... I don't think you have the same feeling as I do, but I'd go as far as saying I hate that game.
Okay, I enjoyed a bit of that game.
Yeah. One of the most uninspiring lead characters in the game.
Yeah, no,
ever.
you're totally right. Watch Dogs 2, I did not play because I did not enjoy Watch Dogs 1. I was so burnt out,
yeah.
But apparently Watch Dogs 2 was an improvement.
Yes.
Do you think
Could they do it?
Could they do it and kind of ignore the fact that it's a third game, just call it... We'll probably not call it Watch Dogs, but call it Watch Dogs something.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs : something.
Watch Dogs Endpoint.
Yeah, something
Watch
like
Dogs Hackers.
Well, they don't want to call it Endpoint, do they?
No.
Watch Dogs New Beginnings. That's what they should call it.
And new is spelled N-U.
Yeah.
Because cool.
Because I think it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it is. It is a very cool idea. It's such a good premise and stuff.
What if it starts and the trailer someone says like, who watches the Watch Dogs? That's cool. And then it's actually just a Watchmen trailer.
Oh, it's Watchmen the game.
Yeah, because it's who watches the Watch Dogs.
Of course. That would be huge.
I don't know. I'd be kind of into that if it looked good.
Yeah,
I'd be up for that. I haven't played a Ubisoft game for a long time.
Same, actually. I kind of like after our Assassin's Creed binge and Watch Dogs.
I played a lot of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I kind of was just like, right, that's it. I know a Ubisoft game, and I'm kind of done with it. I want to move on to something.
Even
else.
like Far Cry, I just burn out on it. I think there's a high chance we may see that. That's cool.
Okay, yeah. So we could also see potentially a couple of other games being mentioned at Ubisoft as well, such as one of them, which I think they may have actually said don't expect to see it at the conference. However, whenever a company says that, I'm always like, I think there's still a chance of us seeing it. Is Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Oh yeah,
because you've had two really, really high budget CGI trailers for that, but no gameplay related stuff, and that's been in the works for a while. So it feels like the right kind of time to get some sort of actual deep dive into.
Is there
that.
A date for that?
No, nothing. So something like that would be cool, but again, they've said don't expect to see it, so maybe not. I think something which hasn't been confirmed, strongly rumored, I think this will be shown, is a new Splinter Cell game.
Ooh.
We haven't had one of those.
There's been a lot of rumours for that.
Time. Yeah, long time. Sam Fisher, I think is the name of the guy in Splinter Cell. He was in one of the like Ghost Recon games or something like that, which was like further fueling all the rumours. And I think there's a big chance that.
Do you think it'll be called Splinter Cell New Dawn?
Absolutely, guaranteed. TMC, copyright, everything.
Yeah. We get royalties now, officially.
Exactly, for sure. The only other game that I've had on my list here of kind of rumours and things that we've known about, something which has been at a lot of E3s, Skull and Bones.
Oh, yeah.
The
I don't care about
Assassin's Creed boat-related game. It's been at so many E3s of so many different trailers. Maybe we'll finally get a release date or a proper gameplay with this, but...
maybe.
Exactly, and that's I think the biggest issue with it is I don't think that many people care.
Game.
Right, that is Ubisoft done. So let's move swiftly on to swiftly later in the evening that day, Square Enix.
Woo!
Now, I've only got a couple of things on this list because there's not that many rumours. However, there's a couple of big ones. So that's, I think, what we can talk about. So I'll get the smaller ones out the way first. So there might be talk about Dragon Quest Builders 2. There might be some talk about Final Fantasy 14 online. Maybe is it time for them to start talking about Final Fantasy 16?
Not a chance.
Not a chance at all. Not a chance.
Not a chance in hell.
Absolutely not, says Chris. No chance for seeing that.
Not with what the other game is that they were talking about.
No. So, we also will see Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
We are going to see that because of the fact we had at the what's the PlayStation little event called? State of Play.
Yeah.
We had a new trailer for FF7 Remake, and they said, please join us on the 10th of June.
Excited.
Please be excited.
E3. I want to, I don't care if we don't see much. I'm sure.
I think we will.
Sure
I think this is going to be the big trailer.
But I want a bit more details on how this game is working. And I don't just mean what the gameplay is. I mean
the release schedule.
How is this release working? When I know
still episodic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's episodic. Like, how is that going to work? Like,
yeah,
I want to know a little bit more of the I'm thinking of a word here. I'm blanking out.
I'm also blanking.
I've ruined it. I just want to know how it's going to work in terms of release and what we can expect and how much we can expect at certain points.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I'm holding out for a crazy. Right, we've been working on this for ages. The latest trailer we had looked really, really great. Like looks wise. Here's your deep dive into it. We've got part 1 ready for the end of this year. Mental.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
That'd be cool.
But imagine it's 6 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours.
No. I think it has to be way longer than that, doesn't it?
Who knows what they're going to do?
I think it has to be. To get the whole game.
4 parts, 10 hours each, 40 hours?
No, it's longer than that, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
No, I think like each
6 parts, 10 hours each. Milk you.
Man, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I hope people can play it. I hope people can play it at E3.
Yes, that would be nice.
Bit of it. That would be really cool.
And I think the overriding thing, and that I feel, because I'm somebody who hasn't played Final Fantasy VII, and when they announced this, I was like, fine, I'll just wait for this to play it. I really, really hope that for a new player going into this, they get as much enjoyment out of people playing the original version of it, and as much feeling, emotion, excitement, everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like a cop-out or anything like that. Because I want to feel the emotions that people feel when playing Final Fantasy VII and be able to talk about it in such a fun manner of that original game. And if this remake can do the same thing, that would be perfect.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
So that's it for Square Enix. So the next thing we'll talk about is Nintendo. Only joking. Square Enix will be announcing a game.
Finally. What's this, like 2
it's
years
confirmed
later
now.
or something?
Yeah, they have confirmed it now.
They tweeted it the other day, didn't they?
Crystal Dynamics' new game, who are the people who have made the Tomb Raider reboot and its 2 sequels, are creating a new game. And this game is going to be based on Marvel's Avengers.
Woo!
So this is going to be shown off. We'll get a trailer. Do you think we'll get some gameplay? Talk to me about this.
Do you know what? Honestly, not a clue.
Because it feels like the amount of hype. They've said they've got this game exists. This has been confirmed as a real game for like 2 or 3 years. This feels like you can't. They can. Oh man, I was about to say they cannot come out of just a CGI trailer.
No, they will.
I
think they will.
Do you think they will?
Yeah, I think it'll be a CGI trailer. Last time whenever it was first announced, like 2 years ago, or whatever, or 3 years ago even, it was just shots of Mjolnir, of Cap's shield, of maybe Iron Man's hat. It sucks because we've been waiting for so long. Yeah,
I completely agree. I think we're gonna get some details regarding the game.
Great.
And there was an eagle-eyed person saw a listing for Marvel's Avengers at the E3 Coliseum event. Now, it mentions something which they very quickly took out of the listing. So, this is a rumor as to how the game is going to play and what the game is going to be like.
Interesting. I don't know any of this.
Are you ready for this? So, it mentioned, quote, continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay for up to 4 players. The listing has since been updated to remove this detail.
Okay.
Now, Bungie's Destiny game first described itself as a share world shooter revolved around co-op play, and there's a campaign you can play solo but public spaces event. The E3 Coliseum listing also mentions you can, quote, customize your heroes to fit your playstyle in Marvel's Avengers. Now, does this mean we're getting Destiny the Avengers?
Ooh.
Remember, this is a continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay experience for up to 4 players, where you can customize your heroes to fit your playstyle.
Right.
They've taken that away. They've taken that listing away. So
what if it is a 10-hour game, a 10-hour story, where you have, I don't know, I don't think we're going to get a huge roster of people that we could play as. I think you're going to probably get Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor. That's probably it. Maybe Black Widow and Hawkeye. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you have to pick, there's say 4 characters that can be with you at a time.
Yeah.
And you can obviously customize it in terms of who is with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you play through as one of them. Maybe you can switch in between.
Okay.
And you play through the story. And then obviously the characters you've got in there will vary things slightly. And that kind of gives it a little bit of like replayability, whereas you can play the game again, but this time as Black Widow, and see how you do things differently, if the story's different at all. See what I mean? Kind of like that. So instead of it being a case of like, I don't know, like Destiny, where you've got your hub world and then you just fast travel to this place where you do a little dungeon and beat a boss. I don't know.
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm like,
because some characters don't have the same kind of traversal, like Iron Man, Thor,
and that's why if you are an individual, if you're just trying to play on your own, do parts of the game just not work? Kind of.
Well, no, I don't think you'll be like that, but I think it might be you have to switch to
a different character.
Thor so you can do this bit that you can fly through.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Interesting to see more about that.
So does that, after what I've just said there, does that, how do you feel more excited, less excited, or is that just a complete side swipe?
I don't know. I guess I've just not really thought how it's going to work, because I'd love a just straight up story game of these characters where, let's say for this part of the game, you're playing as Iron Man and you see this story happen around Iron Man. And then this part, you switch and now you're playing as the Hulk. And you impact that story and push the story along as Hulk. And then that's kind of what I'd want. Let's say it's a 20-hour game and there's like, you're as the main 4 for different parts of it. And then somehow there's a really cool, like whatever the final boss, like, I don't know, Thanos or someone like that. And there's a really cool thing where you're sort of like leading these characters to him. And then they could work out a cool way of controlling all of them somehow in it. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be what it's like, but
so
I hope it is.
Side note then, what you just said about the last boss. Mm-hmm. What would your thoughts be? Mm-hmm. Personally, I don't think this will happen. What would your thoughts be if they came out, they showed it off, and it is the entirety of the 4 Avenger films in a game?
So you've got like Loki,
Avengers,
Ultron,
and then Infinity War and Endgame.
I'd be cool with that. I think that's awesome. They're great stories, but I don't think it will be. I really don't think it will be, because I don't think it's similar to how like the Sony Spider-Man game is not linked to that world at all. It's very, very, in fact, very separate to like Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I think it would be a mistake.
To link to try and tie in
to it. It'd be cool. Obviously, there'll be Easter eggs, and that's great. But I think it would be a mistake to really that like closely tie it that way.
Yeah, I totally agree, and that's why I thought I don't think they'll do that either. I was just kind of, it would be wild if they did.
Like, it'd be cool if it was like if Loki was like the main villain of it, like stuff like that. That's great. If Ultron is,
and that absolutely could, because they're still established enemies in that universe, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Do you think you'll ever play as a baddie in it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's fine.
Unless you count Iron Man in from Civil War being the bad guy. Team Cap.
Whoa.
# Team Steve.
Okay. Right. So that's the Avengers. I think this is going to be one of the most.
This is hugely anticipated.
Yeah, that's one of my most, because I don't actually see like that much hype surrounding it. But I think it's because people. It's kind of like saying Rocksteady's making a Justice League game. It's like, cool. How is this going to work?
Team-based thing. How can that work?
How does this work? And especially with like some of these characters we have never played as a video game character in this overpowered state.
But having said that, Rocksteady have done things before where you're doing a case and you have got Batman and Robin and Nightwing are there, and you will then do a little part as Nightwing, like work this clue out, and then you switch over and you're Robin and you go and do this, and then you switch over and Catwoman's there, you switch and you play as Catwoman for a bit. Like, they've done that, and that works really well when it's done like that. So they've shown they can do it. Maybe not with characters such as Superman or Thor or Iron Man, who they can just go where they want and do it.
In Rocksteady's game, I know it's rumored to be Justice League. Is it still? It's a rumor still, isn't it? Yeah. Do you think we will ever see, even if we don't get to play as him, the Green Lantern?
If it's a Justice League game and they don't have Green Lantern in it, it's ridiculous.
Is he part?
Yeah, he's not been done. He's not been done in the DC universe because I think they're still a bit sore from Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie. But Green Lantern is like a main founder member of the Justice League. Yeah.
I'm right in thinking he's like pretty OP.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Sweet. So 2 heavyweights right there. So Avengers is guaranteed. Rocksteady, Justice League, rumors. Likely.
I don't know if it is really that likely. I think it's just
them making the Justice League.
Oh yeah, I think that's quite likely. Yeah.
Them showing up, maybe on the less likely. If they both show up, my goodness,
that'll be the big story of E3.
If
they're both there with Justice League and Avengers.
Other than a new Xbox console being announced.
Dude, I just had a thought. What if? Can you obviously Rocksteady are in with DC and that, but can you imagine if there was an X-Men game like that?
Wow.
Like a story-based X-Men game. That'd be great.
Well, there was what are their names? Is it Vulcan? No, one of the Call of Duty team who have done a lot of the help on like multiplayer games. So there was some Call of Duty stuff happened. Modern Warfare recently was announced, which is a reboot of the Modern Warfare franchise with Infinity Ward. There was talk of that Sledgehammer and is it Volt? I can't remember their name. The other studio were going to be making a new game. It's in turmoil. Apparently, it's all been rubbished, and Treyarch are having to step in for the 2020 Call of Duty to finish up, and they're going to be making Black Ops 5. And it was meant to be a Cold War era game.
Oh, cool.
Which would have been really exciting. But this studio, I'm really struggling to think of the name. They previously made an X-Men game, which apparently was a really good game from what I remember hearing. So yeah, X-Men.
I think an X-Men game would be great, but
sorry, it was a Wolverine. Did I say Wolverine?
Wolverine.
I said Wolverine. Yeah. X-Men. Yeah. Rife for the picking.
Really interested to see them come into the MCU now as well.
Yeah.
Now they've bought them back from Sony.
Yeah.
Really interested how they do that.
Yeah. So that is Square Enix. I don't really know what else they are going to talk about. I'm sure there'll be something. Next up, and last of the official conferences is a Nintendo Direct on June the 11th. So, confirmed things. Well, I don't know if it's actually confirmed. Let's say it is. Confirmed things. Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're going to hear a lot more about that, surely.
Do we get a proper date?
I think we do.
We should do. They've confirmed it's before the end of the year.
Yeah. I was about to say it's definitely before the end of the year, isn't it? So I think we get the date. I think we get a real look into the game. We see some proper fighting and everything. Yeah. I think we see.
I will probably get a few more Pokemon reveal because all we've had so far is the 3 starters, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe an introduction to what that armor evolution or whatever it is might be.
Yeah.
Maybe. I wonder what they'll do if they'll tie anything into the movie as well. I doubt. Maybe. Detective Pikachu 2 was announced.
Was it?
Just the other week. The game.
Oh, the game. I thought you were about to say the film because I was thinking, I wonder if this film's going to get a sequel.
100% that movie's getting a sequel.
Yeah. Well, if the game's getting a sequel, then the film will. So I think Pokemon more about Pokemon. Hopefully we see more about the world as well. Get a bit more.
Sure. I think they showed
pseudo
us a map,
England, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll get more about that. Yeah. You're excited?
Oh yeah, of course I am.
Excellent.
Of course I am.
Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah.
We've seen a trailer for that already. I think we'll get probably a bit more of the same. Maybe a date again. They look pretty complete in terms of the trailer they showed. There's a lot of gameplay.
Hopefully get more from it.
Mario Maker 2, I think that's coming out this year. That's going to get more, probably, I imagine it'll get a fairly decent exposure in terms of what people can make and what people have made in like internally with it. Now we're kind of moving into the more rumour side of things. Animal Crossing on Switch.
I really hope we get a new something, because that's not been even hinted at yet, has it?
Yeah, so I think considering what we've said, right, the 3 confirmed things that are pretty much guaranteed to be there.
Yeah.
Pokemon, Link's Awakening, Mario Maker. They've got a lot of time to say other things as well. I'm sure there's going to be a load of things that we don't expect, like, for example, The Witcher 3 on Switch.
Yeah, sounds like that's happening.
There's rumours of that. So I'm sure there'll be a couple of side swipes that...
Am I right in saying there'll be a bit more about the Persona 5 game that's coming to Switch as well?
Yes, I'm sure that... I don't think it's confirmed, but I'm sure it will be there.
But isn't there a version that's coming to it?
Well, so you've got Persona 5 S, which stands for... I can't quite remember. Basically, it's like a Dynasty Warriors type game, so like a actiony kind of RPG kind of game. So it's not. Don't think of Persona 5.
No.
Think of a totally different thing. So that's we will get probably more details on that. We've got Luigi's Mansion 3 is rumored. I don't have any knowledge of Luigi's Mansion myself, but supposedly a third one might be. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Now that's a game which has been announced, I think, but no actual details about it.
So probably be that.
So I think I think we should anticipate seeing actually about that. More Smash DLC. That's
maybe.
Pretty. I think that's
more characters.
More characters. Some crazy crossover.
Maybe Geralt. That would be super
would
cool.
be something.
That would be great, actually.
Yeah. Although he's also in
Soul Calibur.
Yes, Soul Calibur. But he gets about, so. So my only other little rumour I had here about Nintendo was there have been some rumblings, whether this is going to happen or not, with considering we are going to be seeing about Link's Awakening remake, a new Zelda game. It seems quite soon, but...
What was it, 2017?
Yeah. It seems quite soon, but there are quite a few rumours about the next...
Give us a splash. Give us maybe a title. Give us something like a...
I can see Nintendo doing that. That's the kind of thing they do. Especially with... So what we probably won't see, I imagine, is Metroid 4. No. Metroid Prime 4. Due to the fact that was... They came out publicly and said this game is being restarted from fresh. And that was like 6 months ago. So I don't think we're going to get anything...
well under wraps, that.
Yeah. That's a long way away. And thus finishes the conferences.
Excellent.
So that's everything in terms of conferences. There's a couple of other little games to talk about which may pop up at various people's events. Microsoft probably being one of the most likely, but PC gaming as well. The PC gaming show, you might see some of these. So I've got a couple of things written here. I'll just run them through. If there's anything you want to just shout out to me. So supposedly there's going to be a new Destiny 2 expansion.
That's definitely happening. They tweeted that.
Did they tweet that?
They tweeted it just as something. Just started, Call of Duty announced and released their trailer, and Destiny, like 2 minutes later, put a little tweet out saying that the Destiny 2 expansion is happening. Or
okay, cool. So that'll be announced.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Probably. Where do they announce that?
I don't know.
That's interesting because they've had a big thing with Sony. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have like a contract with them. So
it makes me think, what are Sony doing? Because they have said that stuff is happening around E3. Are Sony just gonna drop a trailer for Destiny?
So I feel like this is obviously I have no inside knowledge. I feel like we might get a state of play.
Yeah.
So they've been doing these state of plays, kind of mini Nintendo Direct things, like 10-15 minutes kind of max. I reckon I could imagine us getting maybe like a 30-40 minute one.
Yeah.
With the new Destiny expansion. Maybe more about Call of Duty, another Call of Duty trailer. Last of Us 2. So the recent rumor, I'm not sure if you've heard this, Jason Schreier over at Kotaku, the inside man of everything, he said that he'd heard some rumblings that now... So Last of Us 2 was meant to be coming out the end of this year. There were strong rumours of that. With Death Stranding now being given the November 8th release date, there are some rumours that Last of Us 2 has now been pushed to early 2020.
That February slot.
February-March time. If that's true, then can you imagine? So the timescale? Let's just say we're imagining the next consoles come out October, November time next year.
Yeah.
Okay. What we've got then is you've got in 5 months' time Death Stranding, 3-4 months later Last of Us Part 2, 3-4 months later as the swan song Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
That's a strong 3 games over a year-long period.
I tell you what that says to me mostly. Obviously, it's very, very strong.
Yeah.
That if Sony have pushed The Last of Us 2 back a little bit, whether it's to stagger it with those other 2 games you mentioned, or just to release the pressure of it away from Death Stranding, that shows to me they are incredibly confident in what Death Stranding is.
Yeah,
hugely, if that's true.
If we're just going to have like a 2-minute chat on this, like Death Stranding has been an absolute mystery of a game, marketing, release, everything about it has been so different compared to what we've experienced. Kojima historically has taken a long time to make games. Supposedly, he's actually always hit targets. However, the targets have been long off, and Konami had him in pretty poor working conditions, blah, 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 rumours. But his games take a long time to create. He's come in, used the La Decima engine, which Guerrilla's engine. He's used that. So he's used a already known engine with help from Guerrilla. They've been helping out with this, so he's got expertise on board. He's built up his own team. Again, rumors, but Sony have given him like a blank check on this game. They've been like, do what you want, no pressure. Maybe without any pressure, with a blank check, with so much support and him choosing and doing everything in his way, maybe he actually has created something as big and as an impressive in a quicker time frame due to the opposite effect kind of happening. And if so, that the trailer they showed is confident. It's a seriously confident trailer. There's very, very, very locations and everything. I think you're right in that confidence level.
Yeah.
Giving it the November slot. That's the month for game releases, like the biggest month.
Yeah.
Putting that there and then pushing The Last of Us. And
establish
a huge, like the most revered game over the last like generation, moving that to give Death Stranding space. I think you're right in that. Speaks a lot to actually Death Stranding, and also I'm sure their confidence in The Last of Us being so good that they can move it to another time and it still dominate the field. But yeah, so I think that's likely. Moving away from Sony then, a couple of other things. We've got Control, which is the new game from Remedy, which I think you may have seen a few trailers, which is you're a girl, she can kind of float, and there's like weird moving things. You've got like a gun which is made out of like, it looks like stone almost. Remedy, the guys that did like Alan Wake and Quantum Break for Microsoft, they're now their next game. I think it showed at Sony's E3 last year. I'm sure we'll get an update on that. Dying Light 2 has been rumoured for a while. I think 2K have even said actually that we'll get some more Borderlands 3 information as that's had its release. Call of Duty, there'll be something somewhere.
Yeah, of course there will.
Resident Evil 8?
Oh, maybe.
We had 7
7's a couple of years ago, isn't it?
RE2 remake.
Well, they've been busy, haven't they?
They have been busy. They've been on a roll.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Maybe something about that. Now, my other 2 things, again, also related to 2K, is first of all, we'll go with BioShock. So there have been a lot of rumblings about 2K having a new internal team, working on a new BioShock game. Is this the time to bring BioShock back into the fold? One of the biggest names of the last generation in gaming.
Maybe.
What did they do? Where did they go? We've had underwater. We've had in the clouds. Do we go back to one of those locations?
Maybe. I don't know. I think maybe that you could do it in space, isn't it?
Whoa. Was that Prey? But maybe. I think that's the natural thing.
I think as well they need to don't set this in Rapture. Don't set this in Columbia.
I think that's a mistake doing that. Yeah, setting it in Rapture or Columbia.
Yeah, 100% is. You need to set it somewhere else.
Different.
Do it different, just a different setting, like a different look.
Yeah,
but keep the
themes, the kind of idealistic place.
Yeah,
set up on a good idea, but it all crumbles down.
And make it a fully single player 12-hour first-person shooter game.
I think you'll get that. I think you'll get that just because, and the reason I say that is only because of the reveal of Borderlands 3. That game had every opportunity to be a battle royale or something multiplayer like that kind of. But all it is exactly the same as what the previous Bioshocks, Borderlands have been. I think they're kind of a fairly bold company in like sticking to.
I don't know. I feel like the Borderlands, there's a load of stuff that's come out that's been really kind of about the development of it and the way they're sort of handling the release has come out a little bit. Do you see all this stuff with Troy Baker?
So Randy Pitchford, the head of 2K, is a bit of a nut job and a pretty terrible human being, I think. But in terms of the actual core of the game, that had every opportunity to do something different, and they didn't. They stayed. I think they would do that with Bioshock. If
they have been making a Bioshock game, then fair play, because there's been no rumblings.
Yeah, so I think that could happen. Does Ken Levine show his new game? It's been years, literally years.
If he did, I don't think he'd do it at E3.
No. VGAs.
I don't know.
Something on its own.
I think you just
on its own.
I think you tweet out a trailer or something.
I'm so excited. Whatever that is, Ken Levine, just if you don't know, is the kind of creative director or the kind of the lead of Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite and System Shock 2, I think previously before that. He's earned so much respect in terms of the games that he's made previously from me. I am so excited about whatever that game is. I just want it. And they've been working on it for so long. They even made their own so they've kind of closed down a 2K studio and recreated a new one, Ghost Story Games, I think.
It's Irrational, wasn't it?
It was Irrational.
Yeah.
They kind of closed that down, just kept a core team of like 10 people, created Ghost Story Games. They've just been hiring more and more people for that. Maybe we'll hear something, but he as an individual, kind of like Hideo Kojima, is big enough to have his own release something another time. And that is my list.
Cool.
That is my pre-E3 hype list of stuff. Did you have anything else? I think we've run through a lot of different games.
No, I don't think I've got anything else to add into that. Just it's really it could be incredible. This.
I think it's even though it's weird because like normally we're so excited about Sony's E3 conference because we're always about those kind of rumors of that and what they're going to show. Without them there, it's like normally I should be like, no, I don't even care for it. But having kind of doing this bit of research and running through this, I'm like, man, I'm pretty excited actually, like especially for that Microsoft one. Like, I cannot wait to see what they do.
Yeah, there's gonna be loads of good stuff there.
It's gonna be exciting regardless. And even the day before, you've got EA with Star Wars, so there's still something to get excited with that as well. So that's it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the last thing we need to do is to confirm the bet from last week.
Confirm the bet.
Yeah.
Confirm it.
So we did a bet regarding what the PSN splash screen would be when you open up the PSN store on the PlayStation 4. What would they be promoting? I said they would be promoting some sort of male? Some sort of male. Not a female, but a male. A May or summer sale. And you said they'd be promoting Days Gone.
Yeah.
So I did load up the PlayStation Store.
Whew, come on.
I had a look.
Go on. Tell me.
And there was this yellow, this green, this red, this bright colours with a big word sale written across it. No, I'm joking. It was Days Gone. You absolutely nailed it.
Get in.
So I'd just like to confirm that it is actually 4-0.
4-0.
To
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. Yeah, 4-0 to Hufflepuff compared to Gryffindor.
It's a drubbing so far.
So far, I mean, we've still got several weeks to go.
Yeah. I don't know what the end point is. Is there a winning number?
Let's say first to 200.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm well on my way then.
Okay, yeah, you are winning. So
right.
therefore...
Next bet, let's do this.
Next bet, right. So this week's bet is going to be in the Square Enix press conference. They will be talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. The bet is how many minutes to the nearest minute. So if it's 10 minutes and 29 seconds, that's 10 minutes. 10 minutes 31. It's over 30 seconds. Who knows what we'll do? How many minutes will they talk about? How many minutes will FF7 Remake be shown? So from the moment they start to the moment they move on to the next game. And if they come back to it, we'll add that in. But how many minutes? You go first.
Me go first.
Yeah, you go.
Me go first. Okay.
You go first. Me go first.
I've said 16 minutes.
Wow. I'm feeling confident. I think I've got the win on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to say who's closer, yeah?
Yeah,
Closer
exactly. Yeah. So I have said 11.
Okay.
Now, I've actually been on the phone to some of the Square Enix executives, and
Really?
they confirmed to me that
you can understand them. You speak Japanese, do you?
Yeah. I won't show that I do on this podcast, but they told me it's going to be about 10 minutes and 46 seconds long, the showing.
Really?
Yeah, so I needed a leg up based on this, so I've gone for 11 minutes.
Nah.
So
we just talked about it. They've got nothing to show. It's basically
they've got loads. They're going
Avengers.
They're going to spend 45 minutes
Not
on the
a chance.
Avengers, 11 minutes on FF7 Remake, and then 30 seconds on
I think it'll be.
FF16.
I think it's going to go over. I think it'll be over now. Big long trailer. Talk about it a bit.
Yep.
Have someone play a bit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
My goodness me. Idris Elba's going to walk out and play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
He is Barrett. And he's going to walk out with a gun on his arm.
Exactly. Cosplay.
Incredible.
So those are the bets. They are locked in. And that just about does it.
Yeah, I think so. Looking forward to E3.
Indeed.
Got me
So
hyped.
please enjoy E3.
Please look forward to E3.
Indeed. And we will, post E3, once all the conferences are done, we will record an episode discussing kind of each conference and what was revealed and all the surprises, etc. And we'll see if some of these rumours were true.
I hope so.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. And as always, have a lovely week. And cheers. Bye.